Okay, I've decided to just totally risk this and not practice this at all. So this could not be very good, but I want to make a new program. Here's our wave generator program that we had earlier. Remember, if I click the propagate button, it makes a wave that travels along like this. So I want to start with this program, and I want to make a standing waves program. So remember, for standing waves, if you already went through all those lectures, if I have the same wave coming back the other way, interfering with this wave, what would the resulting wave look like? So that's what we want to try to do, and I probably should have practiced it, but we're just going to wing it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come down here and we're going to click on this arrow here, and we're going to duplicate. Let's duplicate that. And then right here, we'll come down and click that and rename it, and we'll call it standing waves. Okay, and then so on this thing up here in the title, I can do standing waves. You can make this all look nicer and neater if you want. I'm going to go ahead and delete this graph. I'm going to put in a different graph here in a little bit. I'm going to copy all three of these things and put them right there. So this, let's see, if I do those three cells and I click right here, merge horizontally, and then click those three cells and merge horizontally. Here I could do wave 1, and here I can do wave 2. Okay, so this is going to be wave 2, and this is going to be wave 1 right here. Okay, so I can still have the same time interval, 1/360th of a second, which I had right in here. All of this will still be good. Time and the y displacement. Now this is going to be the y displacement. We'll call this y1 displacement. This is for the first wave. And then what I need to do is take those, let's just take these first two things and copy them over. And this will be y2 displacement. Let's make that a little bigger. Okay. And so this here is I need to change this equation. So this is going to be my amplitude of my second. So remember, here's the equation right here. So the amplitude of the second one, which is now E5. So I'm going to change that to E. And then sine of 2 pi times C5, which originally was the frequency. Now that's going to be F5. So that's going to be there. Times K2, which was supposed to be the time. So we want that to still be J2. Whoops, J2. Plus D5, which was the phase. Now we're going to have G5 times pi divided by 180. Okay. And did it take it or not? Let's see. Yeah, I think it did. Okay, so I can take that and drag that all the way down to, I was thinking it was like 362 or something. It's probably a much easier way of doing this than scrolling this far, but I can't remember what it was. I know I've looked it up and done something in the past. Okay, so that's what we got. Now what we want to do is we want to have these two waves. We want to actually add these waves together to see what the resultant like y displacement would be for a third wave. So here I'm going to have y1 plus y2. It's going to be just that easy. I'm just going to add them. So I'm going to do equals this plus this one, and I get that, and I can take that down and drag that all the way down also. Okay, there we go. All right, so now what I can do is I can graph time is my x-axis, and then I have y1, y2, and the interference graph, the entire graph. I'm gonna graph all of those on the same graph. Let's see what happens here. Okay, here's the moment of truth. Insert chart, and set up. I want a smooth line chart. red. Where's my blue one at? Oh, it's that same thing because it's, yeah, I copied the exact same amplitude frequencies of my blue one's right there under my red one right now. Smooth this out a little bit. Let's go like this. Customize chart style. I'm gonna do black background again. Chart axis and titles. I don't want a title on there. Let's get rid of that title. Don't need that. Let's see. Series. Apply to all series. Okay, here's Y1, Y2, and the superposition. I want that one to be green, so I'm just going to come in here and change the color of that last one there. Okay. Legend. Text color. I think we need some text color here. Okay, there we go. It shows up. Okay, so I can change that to white. So up here, I'm going to leave this up here at the top. So it shows the blue wave is Y1 and red wave is Y2. Let's see. Can I change? Let's see. Legend. Series. Yeah, let's do this. Series. Y displacement. Wonder if I'm just gonna come up here. Can I just click right in there and no? Should I call this wave 1? But oh, it is. I changed it there. Good. Okay. All right. Wave 2. And this is resultant wave. We'll call that resultant wave. Let me capitalize these. Wave 2, wave 1. Okay, and then resultant. Okay. Whoops, where did my chart thing go? Let's see. Is there anything else I want to do on here? Horizontal. Okay, horizontal axis. Yellow. Let's see. So we still got our 1 second of time. Vertical axis. Let's put that in yellow labels there too. And yeah, what are we going to do for our minimum amount? So they can add together here to get up to maybe even 20. I'm going to go ahead and put in minus 20 and a plus 20 maximum. So that'll always kind of keep that vertical axis the same every time. Okay. All right. So if I can change like the amplitude of, let's change the frequency of this second wave here to be like 3. Okay, so now you can see it. Okay, so the red one, I got 1. Let's change the phase angle to 0 and 0 for that one. Okay, so here's the blue wave, 1, 2, right? So I'm gonna just come up here to remind myself. I'm gonna change the color of this. I guess it is already blue, so I'm gonna do that. And then this one is the red wave, so I'm just gonna do like that so I can remember which ones are which. Okay, so here's the red wave, 1, 2, 3, a frequency of 3, and the blue wave has a frequency of 2, and there's different amplitudes. So these are they have different frequencies. So you have this resultant green wave that looks really kind of weird. But basically, all we're doing is adding the waves. So if they have the exact same frequency, okay, like this, then they're totally in phase right here, then it just adds. So like if this has an amplitude, let's change the amplitude of these to 10. Well, let's do 10. And so so the blue one is 10. See, it comes up to there. The red one is 8. What's the amplitude of the green, the resultant wave? It's 18. See, it just adds it together. So this is interference right here is what we're doing. I could do an amplitude, or I could just change the phase angle of this one to be like a 180. So it'll start going down instead. But see, the blue wave is 10 and the red wave is 8. So technically they -8. So they add together and you get a a green wave that has an amplitude of 2. So if I actually change this to 10, what's going to happen? You're going to have complete cancellation. This is destructive interference, complete destructive interference. And so you wouldn't actually see a wave here at all. They would be totally canceling each other out here. Okay. I'm going to move this up just a little bit so it's not on my button. Okay. Good. All right. So what I really wanted to do here was to demonstrate standing waves. I wanted to make standing waves. How do I get standing waves? Well, I have one of the waves moving this way, right? So now right now if I click the propagate button, what happens? Let's see. Okay, so the blue wave is moving still, remember, like it was. And the red wave is not moving, so we didn't do anything in our script to do that. Okay, so you can see how the green wave's changing. Once the blue and the red one line up, it goes way up, okay? So what I want is I want a standing wave, and the way we get standing waves is we take one of the waves, same amplitude, same frequency, or same wavelength, but we make it go back the other way. Make it go back the other way so that interfere with the ones going forward. So what I want to do is I want to go into our script and I want to take our red wave and make it move to the left instead, okay? At the same time, so that maybe I can get a standing wave happening there. Okay, so this is working. This isn't too bad so far. So if we go, remember how to get into your script editor. You go to Tools, Script Editor. Okay, and let's see. I gotta be in something different here. Okay, forget about that. Sorry all about that. Okay, let's do this. Let's copy this. Make a copy of that script, and then let's rename this one standing waves. Okay, so we got a new GS file over here, Google Script file. See, it says Google Script file. Okay, and so this I'm gonna change this. This is my standing waves program, and I'm going to change the name of the function. So this is going to be function standing, we'll call it. Something like that. Okay? All right. Now I'm going to go back over to my this table here, and if you remember, I'm going to right-click on this button, and then click on the 3 dots, and then assign script, and see it's still assigned waves, right? So we don't want to run that script, which is our script for our other program. We want to put in standing, so when I click that button, it's going to run the standing program instead. Okay, so now we go back to here, and let's see, what do we have? So remember, we made a sheet variable. It got the spreadsheet app. It got the active spreadsheet. That means whatever spreadsheet you're on. So if I'm on this spreadsheet, it knows that this is the same spreadsheet. And then it says get active sheet. So that's only going to work if I'm on this particular tab. So all that is still good. It's totally fine. var phase equals 3600. We made a variable called phase called 3600, and we're going to put it into D5. We're going to set the value of 3600 to D5. Okay, so that was D5. Now, what we also want to do is set this one, G5. We want to have another variable. So I'm going to change this to phase 1. Actually, I'm going to even make it even easier. I'm going to do P1 is 3600. And I'm going to do var P2, I'm going to say is 0. I'm going to have it at the bottom. Okay, 0. And then sheet.getRange D5 set value of D5 to P1. Okay, and I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to sheet get range G5. I think it was G5, right? This one here, this other phase. I'm going to set that one to P2, so it's going to be 0 at the beginning. Okay, and So what I'm going to do is while phase, I'm not using it anymore, so while P1, let's go P1 again, is less than or greater than 0. While P1 is greater than 0, remember I'm going to take, I got to change all of these, P1, 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 probably should have left it that, P1. Okay, so remember what I did here is while P1 is greater than 0, get P1, or for the variable P1, reassign it to whatever is in the value, get the value in range D5 and put it in there. And then we're going to take P1 equals P1 minus 30, and that was going to subtract 30 off of P1, and then we were going to put that P1 back onto the sheet into D5. Okay, that basically made that wave look like it was moving to the right if I did a subtraction. I'm going to do it a little less. I'm going to do minus 10. I'm going to slow it down even more. Okay, but so that right there, if I run this, I'm going to save it first. Okay, I'm going to go back over here to this one, and I'm going to go ahead and click propagate here, see what happens. So what's happening is the blue wave is still going to the right. Really, nothing's really different than the wave program right now. Okay, but what I want now is I want the red one to be moving to the left also. Okay, so I can still go in this while P1 is greater than 0. I don't have to really worry about that. But I'm going to come here, I'm going to copy this entire code right here. Okay, and I'm going to do basically the same thing to P2. So I'm going to do P2 sheet.getRange. Now remember that was in G5, right? And then take P2 equals P2. Now remember, I want this to go the other way. I want this to go to the left. So this actually has to be a plus 10, right? That's going to make it go the other way. Sheet.getRange of G5 and set the value into G5 of whatever now P2 is now, okay? So you don't have to worry about a condition here because when P1 is, as long as P1 is greater than 0, it's going to be doing these things. When P1 gets less than 0, P2 will now be up to like 3600. So it won't matter. It'll still shut it off and be done. Okay, so I'm going to save that. And I'm going to come back over to my program. I'm going to click propagate. And okay, so it's kind of glitchy. It's kind of doing one after the other. It's kind of annoying a little bit, but it's working. And when they're totally opposite like that, it cancels out. And then when they come right there, it's complete constructive interference, and I got a standing wave again. Okay, I'm gonna make this go a lot faster. I think, I hope. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a minus 50 and a plus 50, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna think if this will help a little bit. I'm gonna do P1. I'm going to reassign P1. I'm going to also reassign P2. Okay, and then I'm going to see if I can make it so it's not glitching out like that. I don't know if this will make a difference or not. I'm going to put that there, and then I'm going to do this. So I'm going to get P1 and P2. I'm going to subtract 50 and add 50 to both of those variables, and then I'm going to put them back on the sheet real quick like that. Okay, I'm going to save that, go back over here, let's propagate and run it. Okay, yeah, it's probably going a little too fast now. Oh yeah. Yeah, we don't want it to go quite that fast probably. Okay, so let's come back over here, let's do a minus 20 and a plus 20. This is the part I should have figured out earlier. Okay, propagate. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. So as one's moving towards, the blue's moving to the right, the red's moving to the left, they're going to interfere with each other. You would not see either of those waves. All you would see would be the green standing wave moving up and down. So see how it's going way up, and then it goes way down, and then it goes way up. And then right in here, see, you have a node. There's a node right there. See, it doesn't ever move. I can just grab onto it with the cursor, and it stays right there. And then right over here is another node right there. Okay, so we've made standing waves, a standing wave program. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. We can change some things here. So let's do some other stuff here. Let's do this. Let's make the frequency be 1. No, let's not. Let's do this, 0.5. Okay, and 0.5. Okay, and so now we have like a node here on the end and a node here on the end for, well, actually we want to, let's just do that. Let's do 0 for those originally. Okay, and then the amplitude for the blue, for this one, let's do a -10. Okay, so this is the fundamental way that these can do it, like a jump rope, right? So the red can be like this and the blue can be like this. They cancel each out and make a green. Okay, but let's see what kind of standing wave pattern we get with this. So I do the propagate thing. Okay, and okay, it's interesting. All right, let's do a frequency of 1 and a frequency of 1. Try that out. Okay, so we got one wave there. Okay, and they're interfering with each other, and you just got a loop here in the middle, right? Got a node right here. Okay. All right. And we could do 20 hertz, 20 hertz. Ooh, look at that. Okay, they're lined up, and so you get a really big green standing wave, and now it gets a flat line, and then it goes down the other way. 10 and 10. A lot of fun to play around with this thing. Okay, so there we go. Got a standing wave program.